Hey there. Welcome back to our journey through The Hobbit. I'm Alex, and I'm so excited to have you here for episode 6. Today, we're diving into another magical part of the story, and we've got some great vocabulary to explore. So, grab your favorite drink, get comfy, and let's learn English together with this amazing adventure. Ready? Let's go. By some curious chance, one morning long ago in the quiet of the world, when there was less noise and more green, and the hobbits were still numerous and prosperous, and Bilbo Baggins was standing at his door after breakfast, smoking an enormous long wooden pipe that reached nearly down to his woolly toes, neatly brushed, Gandalf came by. Gandalf, if you had heard only a quarter of what I have heard about him, and I have only heard very little of all there is to hear, you would be prepared for any sort of remarkable tale. Tales and adventures sprouted up all over the place wherever he went in the most extraordinary fashion. He had not been down that way under the hill for ages and ages, not since his friend the old Took died, in fact, and the hobbits had almost forgotten what he looked like. He had been away over the hill and across the water on business of his own, since they were all small hobbit boys and hobbit girls. Let's start with curious. When someone is curious, they really want to know more about something. Like when you hear a strange noise and go check what it is. In a story, something curious happens, a surprising or interesting event. Next, we have morning. That's the time after you wake up and before noon. Bilbo's adventure begins one quiet morning. Imagine fresh air, birds singing, and Bilbo standing outside his hobbit hole. Long ago means a very long time in the past. It's how many fairy tales begin. Once upon a time, long ago, the story of the Hobbit takes us way back to a time of dragons, dwarves, and magic. Quiet means peaceful and without much noise. The hobbits lived in a quiet part of the world. No cars, no loud cities. Just nature and calm. Sounds lovely, doesn't it? World is the earth or everything that exists around us. In the book, the quiet of the world shows how peaceful things were before the adventure started. But we know that's about to change. Less means a smaller amount. If there's less noise, it's more peaceful. Hobbits like peace and quiet, so they enjoy places with less noise and more green hills. When something is numerous, it means there are a lot of them. The book says the hobbits were still numerous. There are many of them living peacefully. Not just Bilbo. Prosperous means rich and successful. If someone is prosperous, they have everything they need and more. Bilbo lived a comfortable and prosperous life before Gandalf showed up. Here, smoking means using a pipe to puff out smoke, something common among hobbits. Bilbo was smoking when Gandalf arrived. Just imagine him standing there, blowing smoke rings. Enormous means very, very big. Bilbo had an enormous pipe, not just a regular one. Hobbits love comfort, and I guess that includes extra large pipes. If something is wooden, it's made of wood. Simple, right? Bilbo's pipe was wooden, just like many old-fashioned things in Hobbiton. A pipe is a small tube used for smoking. Bilbo's pipe was so long it nearly reached his toes. That's a classic Hobbit image. Nearly means almost. Bilbo's pipe nearly reached the ground. Not quite, but very close. That's some serious pipe smoking style. Woolly means soft, and covered in wool or thick hair. Hobbit toes were woolly. That means they had hair on them. No need for socks. Neatly brushed means clean and nicely arranged. The book says Bilbo's toes were neatly brushed. So even though they were hairy, they were tidy. Hobbits like being clean and proper. Heard is the past tense of hear. If you heard something, you listened to it before. Bilbo says he's only heard a little about Gandalf. Not much at all. Little here means not much. Bilbo only heard very little about Gandalf's real adventures. There's so much more to discover. Quarter means 1/4 or 25%. Gandalf says if you heard just a quarter of what people say about him, you'd be amazed. That means there are lots of wild stories about him. Prepared means ready for something. Gandalf says if you knew more, you'd be prepared for the adventure ahead. Are you prepared? Sir means a kind or type of something. Gandalf talks about a sort of tale, a kind of story, like fantasy tales, fairy tales, and so on. Remarkable means amazing or special. Gandalf has had remarkable tales, stories that are so good, you remember them forever. A tale is a story. Often, it's a story full of adventure or magic. The Hobbit itself is a wonderful tale. Sprouted means to grow quickly, like plants. But here, stories and adventures sprouted up. They started happening everywhere. Extraordinary means very special or unusual. Gandalf's adventures happened in the most extraordinary fashion, totally unique and exciting. Fashion doesn't only mean clothes, it can mean a way of doing something. In the book, fashion means in an amazing way, not boring at all. Since means from a time in the past until now. Gandalf hadn't visited since Bilbo's friend died. That's a long time. A friend is someone you like and trust. Bilbo's old friend had passed away, and Gandalf hadn't been around since then. Died is the past tense of die. It means someone has passed away. It's a sad word, but part of life. The old Took had died, and things had changed. Under means beneath or lower than something. Gandalf hadn't been seen under the hill, meaning in Bilbo's area, for a long time. Ages means a very long time. Not literal ages, but it feels like forever. I haven't seen you in ages. You've probably said that too. Almost means nearly, but not quite. The hobbits had almost forgotten what Gandalf looked like. He'd been away so long. Forgotten means you don't remember anymore. Over the years, the hobbits had forgotten Gandalf's face. That makes his return even more exciting. Across means from one side to the other. Gandalf had been across the hill. He'd traveled far away from Hobbiton. Business doesn't just mean a company. It can also mean something you have to do. Gandalf had been away on business of his own, his personal missions. And that's a wrap on today's adventure into The Hobbit. We explored tons of new words, from curious and prosperous to forgotten and extraordinary. Pretty cool how much language magic you can find in just a few paragraphs, right? Now it's your turn. Try using these words in your own sentences. Say them out loud. Write a short story, or even better, drop a few sentences down in the comments. I'd love to see how remarkable your English is becoming. And hey, if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and ring the bell so you never miss another journey through Middle-earth and beyond. More epic vocabulary and fun is just around the corner. Until next time, Keep learning, keep exploring, and stay curious.